Okay, so we're going to do a demo on how to do a displacement map using texture to overlay on a face. So I've taken a face and I have some texture here that I'm going to use to work with. So I have my face in the image here, and what I've gone and done is created a selection, selecting basically just the skin and excluding her eye, and I'm actually going to add her eyebrow really quickly to this. So basically I'm selecting only the skin so that that is where I will create the displacement map. So if we take a look at that, there is the area that I want to create the displacement map with. I just used delete to get rid of the areas that have been selected. So I'm now going to deselect, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to desaturate this image to create a black and white image, and then from there I'm going to use a levels adjustment to create a really high contrast image. So you actually have to create a new file that will be, ooh, too much, that will be the quote-unquote map to use for the displacement so that the texture knows how it's going to be overlaid on the image. So if you take a look, the higher contrast actually is helpful for getting the map to contour correctly to the skin. So I don't quite want it too high contrast, but I want it enough that I can actually see like this area is much darker than this area, so it will create a nice contour. So I'm going to get it to look pretty good. Bring my highlights down a little more so I have a nice gradient right here. I'm also just noticing this up here with the skin or the hair on the skin. I'm just going to delete that really quickly. Okay, so once you have this created, you can then go ahead and use the burn and dodge tool if necessary to create even further contrast within those areas. So I'm going to give a little bit more contrast around the nose and the lips using the burn and dodge tool. Okay, that looks pretty good. I might take the eyelashes out later, but we'll leave them in there for now. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to flatten this image and save this. Oh, excuse me, you're not going to flatten it. You are going to drop out the background and you are going to merge the layers together so that you don't have a background for this image. There you go. So you notice that you still have the checkerboard in the background because you need that for the displacement map. So you're going to do File, Save As, save this in whatever folder you're using as map. I'm going to hit OK. So now I'm going to reopen my face image, and I'm actually going to take my map image and copy the whole thing and place it on top of the face image and make sure it lines up properly. Not sure why it didn't. Make sure it lines up, and I'm going to use this later. Ooh, I just realized I totally missed a step. On the map, coming back, on the map, before you save it, make sure that you blur it using the Gaussian blur so it looks more like a mask and less like a crazy face. You still want to be able to see those contours, but you don't want to be able to see like pores. So you want to give the map something to bend with, but you don't want the actual hard texture of the pores or things like that. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to save that again as the map, save, and come back over here, delete that out, and place that back in. So this is only coming in for reference for later, so I'm going to turn it off. So here's my face. I'm then going to take my texture. I'm going to copy that. So I've chosen this as a texture. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to place it as a new layer in the face image. Once I have this over here, you don't have to fill the entire screen. So if it's scaled to fit for some reason down like this, you can scale it up or scale it down to fit. But as long as it covers the skin area you're going to be using. So once I have that in there, I'm going to go ahead and choose Filter distort, displace, and I'm going to adjust this. The horizontal scale, the higher the number, the more bend you are going to see in the displacement once we apply it. Same with the vertical scale. I found 30 seems to work around here. I haven't played too much with 10, so we'll pop it up to 15 on the vertical scale and see. Stretch to fit and repeat pixel edge is fine. Hit OK. You choose your map because it needs this file to know how to distort the text or texture image. And go ahead and hit OK. And you'll notice as I just do a quick before and after how it is wobbled all around here. All right, that's where this layer comes in handy, your black and white map layer. Holding down the what button is it? Option, nope, Command button. Holding down the Command button, you can create another selection from this and then quickly apply a layer mask so you only have the skin being covered by your texture. From here, you can adjust to any of the different blending modes, overlay, soft light, multiply, or kind of any combination of the three to really get that texture to come through. So I'm just going to do a soft light with a multiply overlay, bring down my opacity on my multiply overlay, and you'll see I have a texture wrapping around the contours of the face. Um, you'll see here, this is actually probably where it's wrapping the best, where this line is right here. Um, and it's looking really weird up here because I left the eyelashes in. So I think next time if I were to do this, I'd take the eyelashes out so that it isn't trying to catch on this texture. But you'll notice here it's wrapping around that contour I had in the nose. So getting a good map created um, to allow for that texture to wrap around things is really important. And also choosing a texture that's going to wrap or work with wrapping with the skin contours really well is also really important. Something with repeated patterns like this is going to work really well. Um, something like geometric shapes will also work really well. So there's a quick tutorial on how to do a displacement map. You're going to need to be able to play with these to actually really get it to look the way you want. And don't forget, you can always come in on the layer mask of that texture and take things off. So if like the eyebrows for some reason are looking a little crazy, we can always just take that area and there we go. Take the texture map off and it's going to make it look a little bit better so it's not as nutso around the eyeball. Okay.